Good to have you join us on the news at 10.
Good evening, thank you.
What's your general view on this?
I think that it is clear that a situation of anomy is playing out. A situation of constitutional aberration is playing out. And until we have a judicial pronouncement, the confusion will linger. We don't need this crisis now, especially with the resources that we don't have, to organize a supplementary election in respect of an election in which a candidate is dead. So it will be better for us, because when you look at all the provisions relating to this crisis, whether in terms of Section 36 of the Electoral Act, where the person dies before the election, is not applicable. Whether in respect of Section 181, sub 1 of the Constitution, where the person dies when he has been declared duly elected, is not applicable. So in all the circumstances we have now, death has constituted a separation. It has aborted the election. In any circumstance where death happens, you cannot insist on declaring a result. So as we are presently, we go back to Section 181 sub 2, which clearly provides that even where election has been declared and death occurs, that election will be cancelled. Section 181 sub 2 says that even if a governorship candidate has been duly elected and sworn in, together with his deputy, and both of them dies for any reason, or for one reason or the other, mental insanity, or they were kidnapped, or so long as they can't take office, the election will be cancelled and a new election will be conducted.
Well, this pronouncement from the AGF, no doubt the APC is going ahead to get a new candidate. How does this sit, knowing full well that some of those votes already were for the late Abubakar Audu? For some others, they also think that it is for the political party. So with a new candidate likely to come into the fray, where does those votes lie?
There's no way you can transfer votes from an election that was inconclusive, from which the leading candidate is dead, and then to somebody else who will emerge subsequently. It is not a cake whereby you slice it into half, take part of it, and then keep the rest for another day. There is no way you can transfer the votes that was cast for Audu to another person.
But don't forget that the party is still there. So, it is the party that stands for an election. As it is, we don't have independent candidacy.
No, under the Constitution, there is no way you could win election without two factors playing out. There must be a candidate, and that candidate must stand on a platform, and that platform will be the political party. If either of them is missing, there can be no election, there can be no result. And there is no way you can say because the candidate was leading before he died, then you transfer the result of that election to another person who would now be elected through a new primary. That is a constitutional absurdity. It will be an aberration. And I think the solution to what we are having now, to avoid this cacophony of opinions and this confused constitutional crisis we have, is to approach the court for a judicial interpretation. Because in conducting the supplementary election, we're going to waste money, we're going to waste resources, and we're going to just be extending the tenure of Captain Wada for no reason. So, and that will lead us to another constitutional crisis, because there's no way the matter will not get to court. So it's better now, before the supplementary election of December 5, for the Attorney General to approach the Supreme Court on behalf of the people of Nigeria and get a final pronouncement from the court and then take us further. There is no way you can take election in piecemeal, give part to the person who is dead and give part to somebody who you elect subsequently. It can never work.